Hey everyone, it's Mel from Sewing with Mel, and I am making a video today to address a problem that some of you may have on your Luminaire or your Solaris. I've seen it now happen to both machines. It happened to me, and I thought maybe I was the only person. I thought it was just me. I thought it was a fluke and my embroidery unit was not quite right. But it isn't just a fluke. It's happened to me, and it's happened to several other people that I have talked to on Facebook, and we've figured it out, and we know what the problem is. Fixing it might be a different story. So let me go ahead and explain what has happened here. So have you ever been using maybe your magnetic hoop? It could happen with one of your other hoops, but it happens to me on the magnetic hoop, and someone else was using a dime hoop, and it was happening with the dime hoops too. Now, I have dime hoops. I don't use them, so whether the same problem is happening with the dime hoops, I can't tell you. But I can tell you it does happen with this. So you've got your quilt maybe, and this is what I'm just going to explain what I was doing. I was quilting with my, doing a quilt with my magnetic hoop here, and I know that these hoops and the embroidery unit are made stronger just for these hoops. You need a stronger motor because things on it get heavy, okay? And if you've got a whole quilt sitting in this, even though I had every ounce of the rest of the quilt supported by a frame that I have around my machine, every once in a while, I would hear this awful noise. And I mean, it was awful. It made you jump out of your chair. And I thought about it for a while. What could that be? And why is that doing that? Well, then I also noticed that my edge to edge did not line up. Okay, so here's what that awful noise is. I mean, it is loud. It scares you and you think, oh, I broke my machine. You didn't break your machine, but it tweaks the motor in your embroidery unit, and it can't be good for it. It just can't. So what it is say you're embroidering, and your hoop moves around like this. When you don't have any pressure here, and it's just up here, it fits nice. Watch this. It slides back and forth really good, right? If you have a quilt on top of it, it tends to push it down just a tad. See that? And what happens when you push it down? Look at that. That's what it is. When my hoop is moving around, it's catching right there. And sometimes, and it pushes it on over, but it does damage to the other side of the hoop. I'm going to zoom in here and show you exactly what that looks like, okay? Okay, so first, I'm going to pull this back. Watch my nail. Look at that. It's stopping it. Let's do the hoop. I'm going to put a little pressure on the front. Let's take this out. Let's look at the back of my hoop. Let's see if you guys can see it. Look there. See all that damage on the bottom of that hoop? It's from that. Okay. So some of you are going to say, well, I don't have that problem. That's great. I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad that you don't have that problem. But there are a lot of us who do have the problem, and I spent hours, I kid you not, hours, trying to figure out how to fix it. Now, there are levelers underneath your machine and your embroidery unit. Yes, try to level it. If you cannot get it level, which I could not do, no matter what I did, it would not work. The easiest fix, remove this, was to take a piece of clear packing tape and just put it right over the top, just like that. Just make sure that the edges are down because you don't want your hoop getting caught on that packing tape. So, like this, okay? You don't want your hoop rolling on any edges. So just make sure they're down. I've tried this and it worked well. So now we have our hoop. Here it is in the center. I can see a little bit of a shadow there, which means it's lifted up a little bit. So it's laying flat. It doesn't catch. And now I'm going to put some pressure here. Went right over. Look at that. Okay. So if you have this problem, you can fix it with a piece of tape. Continue on your journey. Now I'm going to tell you right now, make sure that the tape that you put on there, take it off when you're done. Because if you leave tape on something for a long time, it leaves residue. You don't want to leave any residue on your machine. So take that piece of tape back off when you're done, and everything will be all right. I hope that helps you if you're hearing that awful, terrible noise. Have a great day.